What's going on? It's your boy, Sheiv the Wise, and welcome back to Vader's Lair. It's time for our Season 3, Episode 6 watch party of Star Wars The Mandalorian. It's time for Chapter 22, and I hope you guys are ready for it. I am hyped for tonight's episode. I'm hyped for the last 3 episodes of The Mandalorian for Season 3. And I am hyped for this month and this week of Star Wars because it is about to be a big one with Star Wars Celebration this weekend starting Friday and Jedi Survivor coming out at the end of the month. I hope you guys are excited for tonight's episode. I know that I am. Let's do it. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're ready for some Mandalorian tonight because I definitely am. It has been a long week, as it has been every single week that we've had to wait for another Mandalorian episode. But this week in particular felt, well, extra long. With the Bad Batch ending last week, it is the first time in quite some time that we haven't had 2 episodes of Star Wars in one night. It's quite sad. But we do have The Mandalorian still. These last 3 episodes are shaping up to be pretty dang big, I would say. And I'm excited to see where the story goes tonight after the kind of cliffhanger that we had last week of Moff Gideon's escape from the New Republic. So let's talk about that for a second, because we did a little bit of a preview stream earlier tonight for episode 6. And it's good to see you all in the chat. Lobo, Luis, Jedi Mike, Dawn, Dale, KG, Mike Porter, Omi, Juan Nahom. It's good to see every single one of you guys in the chat tonight, and it's good to see all 17 of you guys here. Make sure to smash that like button if you are enjoying Star Wars and The Mandalorian right now, and subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a whole bunch of Star Wars content even when The Mandalorian ends. Our Rebels rewatch is around the corner. Again, Star Wars Celebration is coming up this weekend, and Ahsoka is not too far away either. So definitely you're going to want to subscribe to the channel to make sure that you're up to date with all things going on in Star Wars. So let's talk about this episode because I think that we might be getting Moff Gideon tonight. And we will see in about 15 minutes or so because the episodes have been dropping about 10 minutes early each week. But I think that's where we're going. I think the Mandalorian kind of Children of the Watch group that Din Djarin and Bo-Katan have become a part of is most likely going to be traveling to Mandalore. Maybe not tonight, but at least in these last 2 episodes after tonight, I think that's where the story is going. And if we don't see them go to Mandalore tonight, that probably means that we're going to get an episode of Bo-Katan trying to unite other Mandalorians, or Bo-Katan and Din trying to bring other Mandalorians together, unite all of them so that Mandalore can rise again now that the Mythosaur has ushered in a new age, or it's going to be ushering a new age. So I think that's where the story is starting to be headed, except of course we do have the Imperial Remnant side of the story as well, which has been kind of slowly building since episode 1 of the season when we first heard about what happened to Moff Gideon after season 2. It seemed as though Cara Dune had taken him back to the New Republic. He was kind of under New Republic custody and he was being taken to a war tribunal to be put on trial for his crimes. However, it was teased in the Dr. Pershing episode, which would have been season 3, episode 3, so earlier in the season, where Dr. Pershing was kind of hanging out with some other old Imperial guys, or, Imperial Remnant people that were within the New Republic now, and they all had kind of speculation on what happened to Moff Gideon. Some of them thought he maybe got mind flayed, others thought that he maybe escaped. Well, we got it confirmed to us last episode that Moff Gideon did indeed escape en route to his War Tribunal trial, and all that was left behind that the New Republic saw was a ingot or fragment of Beskar. So, did the Mandalorians take Moff Gideon, I guess? Did they, did a group of them help rescue him? Did some of them take him to give him Mandalorian justice compared to what we saw and the New Republic, with them being kind of a joke. Like, I don't know how serious New Republic justice would be for Moff Gideon. Like, what are the crimes for someone that's, what is the punishment in the New Republic for someone that's done the crimes that Moff Gideon has had, compared to maybe the punishment that the Mandalorians would give Moff Gideon? So that's kind of where my head's at with the whole Moff Gideon, cliffhanger of last episode. And I will say that last episode was the first time we didn't get a scene that ended with Bo-Katan, which is why I think that the Moff Gideon thing is going to be really important. You look back to the first 4 episodes, or the first half of the season, each episode ends with a shot of Bo-Katan. Literally at the very end. The first episode ends with Din Djarin walking away from Bo-Katan as he's going to be going to Mandalore, and it kind of ends with Bo-Katan sitting on her throne. The next episode again ends with Bo-Katan. The third again ends with Bo-Katan. The fourth again ends with Bo-Katan. And then we get the fifth, where it looks like it's going to end with Bo-Katan, and then it goes to the Moff Gideon scene, or the scene where we see Moff Gideon had broken out of his war tribunal, or out of his ship, I guess you could say, en route to the war tribunal. So that's where my head is at. Good to see y'all, though. What do you think is going to be going on in tonight's episode? Let me know down in the chat. Darth Pikachu, good to see you, my man. He says, Admiral Thrawn in the flesh. I would love to see that. I'm a big Thrawn simp. He's, who doesn't love the blue Smarties? You know what I mean? No, but for real, I love Thrawn, and I think when he does make his live action debut, it's going to be absolutely glorious. It really is. I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I could see how they would potentially be building to him throughout this season, but I don't think that's what they're building to just yet. I think that's going to be kind of teased maybe at the end of the season, and that's going to be something we maybe get more in Ahsoka, of course. However, I will say that Grand Admiral Thrawn was first name dropped back in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, so if we did see him at least in a post-credit scene at the end of this season, it would make a lot of sense. Just Fernie, what up, my dude? He says, you think we've seen the rest of Grogu's flashback this season? I don't know. That might be something that they continue to build on over time, with Grogu, a character who's going to be around for who knows how long. I mean, he could literally live to 900 years old, and he's only 50 at this point. They can easily tell his story over time. They don't have to rush to tell us each little part of his story, in one season. They can easily tell his story over 10 seasons. And maybe we get tads of his flashback here. We get tads of his flashback next season. I mean, the first time we saw one of his little flashbacks was back in Season 1 of the Book of Boba Fett, not even in The Mandalorian. So I don't think they necessarily have to continue his flashback this season. It would be really cool if they did. I'm open to them completing it, but I don't think they will, to be honest. I think that's going to be saved for Season 4. We might see who Kelleran Beck was taking Grogu to. As he said, there were some friends that he wanted to show him, or that he had for him to meet. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get too many of Grogu's flashbacks the rest of this season just yet. You know what I mean? Sabersmith, good to see you, my man. He says, dang it, I gotta take the dog out. BRB, hey dude, no worries. We'll see you soon. I hope that the dog has a quick bathroom break. Excellent, says Lobo. Good to see you in the chat, Lobo, by the way. Welcome into the channel. Ashhammer says, I want boba. Yes, I love little tapioca balls as well. No, but for real, I want boba too. I know a lot of people were talking about maybe boba coming in this episode in our preview. I've been talking about boba coming into the season all season, since before the season. I don't know if they will. I don't know if Boba's going to be in this season. He totally should be. I mean, Mando totally was in Boba's season out of nowhere, especially at this point in the Boba Fett season, right? Around episode 6 or 7 is when we got the Mando episodes, maybe even 5. So maybe we get Boba. I will say I do think the fact that we haven't revisited the IG-11 storyline is a little interesting to me, since that was in the first episode. Here we are in episode 6 tonight. We're back on Navarro. You know, the Anzellans just got saved by the Mandalorians last week. I'm starting to think that this could be the week where the IG-11 storyline gets picked up. I don't know how much of that's going to, you know, cover in the episode. That might only be a couple minutes. I'm hoping for another like 40-something minute episode tonight, because whenever we get these 40-minute episodes of The Mandalorian, they find a way to jam-pack a whole bunch into it, man. So I'm definitely hoping for a little bit of a longer one, and hopefully we can get Boba at some point. But I do think the IG-11 thing is going to happen. Hopefully we see something with Moff Gideon. I'm starting to think he's maybe working alongside some Mandalorians, or maybe he's a Mandalorian himself. Although I'm still intrigued how the heck the Beskar like broke off in the ship. Like, it's supposed to be kind of impenetrable. You know, I don't know. Beskar, not too many things can break off Beskar. So, quote, you know, leaves me wondering. No Thrawn yet, says Sabersmith. Not yet, as Mace Windu would say. Not yet. I am the Senate. Not yet. Crazy to think it's been a year since Jedi Mike and Just Fernie were kicking it at Anaheim for Star Wars Celebration. It hasn't quite been a year. So Celebration last year, I think, happened at the end of May. They did it a little bit earlier this year, technically. But yeah, I was honestly just thinking about it before this stream. I got my Darksaber right here in honor of the Mandalorian here tonight. And I still have my little tag from Celebration last year on it. Because if you're going to Celebration and you're bringing a lightsaber, which I don't know how you would exactly do that across a plane if you're coming from the States. But if you're going to Celebration, they're going to tag your little lightsabers like this. Just make sure you got a little D-ring or something to put it on. And yeah, I still have mine on the Darksaber. And I ignite the saber. Let's go. I'm hyped for tonight's episode, man. RF Gaming says, or is that RF? RF Gaming says, I thought the same about the Beskar. Maybe Gideon is trying to frame Mando in the crew. So that's what makes me think that maybe this could be Thrawn. I will say, like, that seems like a Thrawn thing to do, to kind of frame Mandalorians for breaking out Gideon. But you're probably right. It's probably more of a Gideon thing, and he's just maybe he's framing the Mandos. Maybe Gideon is a Mando, like I was saying, and maybe there's some Mandos that work for him. We do know earlier in the season that Bo-Katan basically had said the Night Owls aren't really following her at this point. They went off to do their own thing, and apparently they're mercenaries at this period. So if the Night Owls are mercenaries, they might not exactly respect Bo-Katan for joining the Children of the Watch. Which she was all like, oh, they're religious zealots, like, they're fanatics, blah, blah. Like, Bo-Katan wasn't even buying it. So do you really think that the Night Owls are going to, you know what I mean? Like, so she already kind of lost their respect with not bringing the Darksaber back. Now she's a part of the Children of the Watch. And they're mercenaries. I think it's kind of leading to the point where they might have been hired by Moff Gideon, or they're working alongside him. Heck, even to kind of go further down this rabbit hole, we know that Axe Woves wasn't at the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. It was only Koska Reeves. So maybe Axe Woves at that time was already working for Moff Gideon, or working alongside him at some point. Darth Lance, what up, my dude? Let's go. I'm so hyped too, my man. It's good to see you in the chat. I still have my Star Wars Celebration tag on my bow helmet. Let's go. Yeah, dude, there's a couple sabers I still have the little tags on. That's awesome though, Omi-Wan. Yeah, I'm starting to get FOMO. I really am. I'm seeing all the people on Twitter talking about Celebration, or even the people in London right now who are like, oh, I can't sleep. You know, the sleeping in London right now has got me all thrown off. It's like 5 a.m. over here and I can't sleep. And I'm just like, I wish I was in London right now. It's going to be a fun week. Dale says we have a lot more likes than there are people watching the... Let's go. I smashed that like button though. I need to refresh then. Do it. Jedi Mike says, I have my black hat on. For real, for real. Ooh, Dave Filoni style? Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Timothy, is it good to see you in the chat, my dude? Let's go. All right, y'all. We are about 2 minutes away from the new episode of The Mandalorian dropping. I'm going to make sure my Disney Plus is all set up and ready to go. Let's do it. New chapters every week. Alright, if you guys are new to the channel, by the way that we do these watch parties, I'm going to throw up a little timer up around here, and you guys can sync it up, get our live reaction to what we are seeing in the newest episode. I'm going to get that timer ready right now, and then let us begin in the next couple of minutes here when the episode begins. We're going to start as soon as the episode drops, so I apologize to anybody that ends up coming in late, but I am very hyped for this episode. I'm very hyped for the last 3 episodes of The Mandalorian, and it's going to be a fun way to kick it off here tonight as we get to our last episode before Star Wars Celebration this weekend. That's better. Let's go! Sheiv, did you see my Bo versus Gar Saxon theory? I have not yet. I have not yet, Jedi Mike. I don't know if Gar Saxon's around still at this time period. I think he died, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he died. But maybe there's... I will say, I started to think about Paz Vizsla, because back in the Clone Wars, Paz Vizsla would have had to be a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's most likely the son of Pre Vizsla, who was also played by Jon Favreau, or voiced by Jon Favreau back in the Clone Wars. And you think about it, at that time, Bo-Katan would have been like 19 or so. You know what I mean? She would have been like in her early 20s or like late teens. You know what I mean? Bo-Katan in Clone Wars was super young. Bo-Katan now is about 50. She's in her early 50s-ish. So doing the whole math, Paz Vizsla seems like he's probably in his late 30s, early 40s-ish. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Paz Vizsla could have been Pre Vizsla's son and would have been like 9 or 10 at the time of the Clone Wars, and that would have been crazy. You know what I mean? Now him being like in his 40s or so, which would still put him about 10 years younger than Bo-Katan. It kind of makes sense to me, and it's cool. Like it makes me think about maybe a Paz Vizsla back during the Clone Wars as a little kid on not on Mandalore, but on their mood Concordia. I think that would have been crazy. That's a crazy thumbnail, says Lobo. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I thought it was pretty cool. It's a concept art actually from the Book of Boba Fett episode with Din Djarin cutting up the people. So I found it online and I was like, dude, that's a sick. That's the thumbnail. Timothy, let's go. Oh, 11:51. Is the episode up? Okay, the episode should be up. It's dropped. It's out. Let's go. Ursa Wren. What you talking about? Chapter 22, 45 minutes, The Mandalorian visits an opulent world. Darn it, I should change my Santa predictions now. Alright, y'all, let's get this episode rolling. It is out. Let us begin in the next 5. And we'll do 10. We'll do 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Do it. Let's go. Whoa. Okay. Going back to that season 2 episode that Bryce Dallas Howard directed. Yeah, see, Axe Woves doesn't mess with them. Let's go. Corn on the Disney Plus thumbnail. Yup. Let's go. My forces melted away. Alright, this is going to be a big episode. I can feel it. Ooh, I wonder if they're going to go back to Mandalore and there's going to be more of those little alien droid dudes. Bryce is tonight's director. Let's go. I love BDH, man. She's awesome. Grogu. This recap's going hard right now, man. Hey, OG, I'm glad you're here, my good. I'm so glad you're here. I'm happy all you guys are here. Much love to you guys. Both worlds. What? Can't I walk both worlds, son? That's what Din Djarin's thinking. Let's go. It's time to retake Mandalore, guys. Let's go. Chapter 22 hype. Yes, the BDH hype is real. Ooh, okay. Starting in space. That's an interesting looking ship. Okay, the Quarren. Interesting. There you go, my dude. Little fishy. Oh, these Quarren are nasty looking. Okay, to Trask. That's the water world. What? How interesting. This is different. Hey, Kendall, no worries, my dude. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you could. I know it's late over there on the East Coast, but much love, my brother, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Keep killing it with those shorts, my dude. That's Moff Gideon's ship. Huh? What if Moff Gideon has been hiding among them as a regular Mandalorian this whole time? Maybe. Yo! No. They have Moff Gideon's ship from last season. Axe Woves. Okay, there's Cosca Reeves. Oh, shoot. So they are mercenaries still. They're after these dudes. Wow. The guy on the right kind of looks like Django's suit. Sasha Banks return, bro. No way. Indeed. Huh. Jeez. He's like Din Djarin in the first season. Oh, man. That's messed up. Let the fish people love, my dude. Plus year 15. Damn. The fish dude. I know. Damn. Axe Wolves has gone to the dark side. Welcome. Fish people need love too. Oh, that's messed up. We are honorable. It just takes a few credits. Casca, my baby. I know. The episode is awesome. Guns for hire. Yo. Okay, so this is the world from the trailers, I take it. Unless this is Kalevala again. Maybe it is Kalevala still, but yeah, it's the dome world. Okay. Alright, where are we? Yo, this planet's dope. She's back, Ash. She's back. Ew, says KG. I know. The little tentacles. Could that be the prince from Clone Wars? Oh, Princely Cha? I think that's his name, right? I don't know. I don't think so, because I think we see what happens to him, and yeah. Nah. Me either. Welcome to Plaisir 15. This is jokes. Bo-Katan's face. I'm with it. I wonder what that said. Grogu. The ringtone was annoying. It was. It's like those annoying iPhone alarm things. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think that's the prince from the Underwater Clone Wars episodes. It could be. It's probably his son, if anything. You know what I mean? Like, that would probably make more sense. Black Arch series. Hyperloop pod? I like that Din and Bo are like best homies now. Din's like, yo, I'm forever in your debt for you saving me. You know what I mean? Life debt. Hello there, General Grievous. Welcome into the chat. It's Stubby. Hi, Senate. Yo, I wonder if we can see who owned their... Yo. Oh my god. Grogu. I love the Grogu scenes. I've been looking forward to this. They do make a cute Mando family. Facts. We'll find out. I'm liking this episode so far. This is a cool planet. What the heck? Frog lady species? What the heck? Grogu's like, what the hell is going... Jack Black? That's Jack Black. Is that... No, is that Lizzo? I'm crying. Lizzo just killed my eye. Din is just like, same. This is straight comedy. the new power couple. Yeah, who needs Din Bo when you have Liz Jack? What is going on? Jack Black and Lizzo. I'm so dead. The program. Jack Black's awesome. Jeez. Grogu's like, can you please put me down? I'm so dead. Exactly. Indeed. Bingo. Yeah, the loophole, right, KG? There you go. Have they? Din's like, I get to kill some battle droids? Okay. Yo, there he is, Christopher Lloyd. Hey. I don't think he's a Mandalorian chieftain, guys. Uh-oh. Back to the Future, yeah. Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc Brown. He's looking great. Oh, the B1s are having malfunctions. Oh man. Yo, the droids are wildin'. Oh, it's the General Grievous droid. Oh my god. Great Scott! So the city is reliant on droids, and the droids are all malfunctioning. That's hilarious. Hey, Din's like, I got some love for Ugnaughts. Let's go. Din. Oh, maybe this is like the droid bar, right? That we see in the trailers. Yeah, I think so. Oh, B2s and B1s. That's cool. I love seeing Ugnaughts too. Oh, I wonder if Din's gonna get the IG chip from here. Yeah, I was just thinking that, just Fernie. They're gonna be like, what? Queel? I wonder if they know Queel. They look like they do. This guy kind of looks like him. I have spoken. Come on, say it. we miss it. I have spoken. Let's go. I love seeing all the droids too. He sounds like Edna mode. A little bit. Edna mode. I have spoken. Yes. Din said it back. Bo-Katan's like so proud, like so prideful. I've spoken to. Dang, look at all the B2s. Clone Wars! Clone Wars. Yeah, Din's like, screw these things. They killed my family. Yeah! B1s! Uh-oh. The Duchess? Din's like, screw these things. Uh-oh, Din, you did it now. Why was he even... Oh my god. It's running. Get it, Din. I love how Clone Wars this season has felt at times. Like, I know we're doing crazy mission of the week every now and then kind of thing. I don't even know if you can really call it that, but I love this, man. It totally feels like some Clone Wars stuff they're doing. Ah! Look out! Excuse me. I hate those things too. Oh my god. This really is a live action Clone Wars episode. It is. Wasn't Quill the one who originally repaired and reprogrammed IG-11, says Tim? He is. Good point. Good freaking point. Live action Clone Wars scenes in this episode is fun. It is. It feels like all season with the Gorian shard stuff too. But this especially, like, oh damn. Boom. Sit down. Bo-Katan. Whoo. The badass herself. They were hired to take down the malfunctioning droid, so you know. Good job. Why does it feel like iRobot all of a sudden, right? With the, the droids malfunctioning. Ooh, someone did this. Resistor. Huh. Someone building droids? Or maybe reprogramming? Interesting. Din. Gonk. Gonk. Wasn't the Duchess also the name of the weapons Sabine built? Yes, it was. I believe it was indeed. I was wondering if there were a few other name references maybe to it. Like maybe her ship is called the Duchess or something. All the droids. We don't want your kind in here. If you guys remember back to A New Hope, when C-3PO walks into Mos Eisley Cantina, the bartender's like, we don't serve droids in here. So maybe this is like a anti-humans. Din. Okay then. All the droids. Whoa, whoa. I love this. It's totally testing Din's, you know, growth with the whole droid thing. The droids are gonna get replaced by humans. Oh, my back. Interesting. Brandon Trent says, imagine if we see commando droids taking on clones in the live-action clone show one day. That would be freaking dope. All the droids are like, come on, let's do it. Nepenthe. Say what? That was kind of fun. The way it scrolled through it. So they all got this batch of Nepenthe. Rest in peace, Clankers. They're taking its blood. It's oil blood. I'm getting electric sheep vibes. Blade Runner, right? This is officially the weirdest Mando episode to date. I'm not mad at it though. Aaron, it's definitely different, but I'm for it too. Whoa! Whoa! Damn, another malfunctioning droid, and this one's got the lasers? Oh my god. There you go. The Darksaber. Is that lady okay? She got lasered. I missed the Santa choice. No, Lobo. Nano droids. Interesting. It's writing. What? Arabish? A chain code? Yeah, the mystery aspect of it is dope, Timothy. Techno unit. Uh-oh. Moff Gideon. No, I'm just... Oh. What? Head of security? It's all... Say what? Doc Brown, what are you up to? All of them are like, say what? What? Shoot him down. Do it. Uh-oh, we got separatists around still? What? Nice job, Bo. She's like, F Count Dooku. That's awesome. That's pretty wild. What a weird episode. I love it. Grogu's been with Lizzo this whole time? Oh no. He's using the Force to help her? It was him. The stiffly, slimely. Yes, yes, that's a that's a line from Book of Boba Fett. That's what Cad Bane says to Boba. Maybe one day. Paraquat? Bye-bye. Count Dooku was a visionary? Yeah, get out of here. The key to Plazir? That's a big key. Oh, it kind of looked like the Falcon on the back. What? He's a full-fledged Jedi now. Sir Grogu. Alright, Sir Grogu. My lord. This episode is random. It totally is. No, they're not. Uh-oh. Sir Grogu, first of his name. How are the B1s still active for Mustafar droid shutdown? Vader did in Revenge of the Sith, says Brandon Tran. A lot of the droids were shut down after the Revenge of the Sith order, but a lot of them were reprogrammed after. We actually even see that in Rebels and a lot of other stories. Or they were reactivated. It's cool how many Mandalorians are actually with them. All the Night Owls. Oh, Bo-Katan. Here we go. Oof. No, but... Oh, shut your mouth, Axe Wolves. Boo. Oh, Bo-Katan's challenging him. I don't think you can win that one, Axwos. Yeah, let's go. You gonna get your butt kicked. Let's go. Dude, that's so... Without their helmets, too? Ooh. Definitely feeling like a live-action Clone Wars episode. Ooh, Casca's not down with it. Ooh. This show is sick, dude. I love this show. So good, Tim. Yeah, I gotta be able to tell them apart. I mean, you still would be able to with their helmets on, too, but they all do look a lot alike. He ain't yielding. You gotta kill him. Oh. Straight up grabbed him by the neck. Wow. I don't need to. Interesting. Let's see what happens with her leaving him alive. Tell him, Bo. Hell yeah. Your ways are stupid, Axe-Waves. So are theirs, but... You can't just give it to her, my guy. Look at it, they're all laughing. Bo's like, nah, fam. I challenge you. He's gonna... Oh, okay. There you go, Din. And then she won it from the thing that took him. Ah, you see? Let's go, Din. He's got a point. Bo's like laughing. Let's go. Come on. It would belong to her. Technically. They're all like, okay. Oh, let's go. Let's go. I wanted Din to keep the Darksaber, but this is sick. I'm down. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, what a crazy episode. Christopher Lloyd, Jack Black, Lizzo, Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber. Let's go. Let's go. If she loses this thing again, I know, Tim, she totally doesn't deserve it. Let's be real. Let me know what you guys thought of episode 6 of season 3 of The Mandalorian down in the comments below. I gotta give it a solid 8. 8 out of 10. It was a fun episode. Definitely very different, very weird. I enjoyed this new planet. I enjoyed seeing Jack Black and Lizzo. I thought that was absolutely hysterical. Christopher Lloyd's character turned out to not be a Mandalorian chieftain like some of the rumors and theories out there had been kind of pushing, I guess. And really interesting to see Axe Woves and what's kind of become of the Night Owls since season 2. I mean, we heard Bo-Katan talking about it earlier this season where they left to become mercenaries, but wow, they were kind of even more so mercenaries than Din Djarin was in season 1 of The Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Like, it was definitely a different episode. I give the ending a 10 out of 10, the rest a 7, says Tim. I feel you on that one, man. Dang, there's some cool concept art for this episode. I loved all the droids in this episode, though, too, by the way. I loved seeing the B2s, the B1s. It totally felt like an episode of Clone Wars at times, which a lot of this season has felt like a episode of Clone Wars at times. Like, I love that they're doing all these different stories. It really does feel like they're taking kind of the Clone Wars approach this season with their storytelling and doing a whole different variety of mediums and ways to tell these stories. I will say at times the season has felt maybe a little disjointed because of that. Like, it hasn't necessarily felt like one big cohesive story. Like, we're following so much. We're following Din Djarin doing a lot this season. You think about it, and we saw the Mines of Mandalore back in episode 2. 6 episodes in, and there's not like a clear direction other than Bo-Katan's. Like, this feels like a Bo-Katan kind of story this season in a way. Like, not that there hasn't been a clear story, because it's all about the Mandalorians really this season and kind of rejoining them or reuniting them to take back Mandalore. That's really what the premise of this season has been. It just really has been focused on Bo-Katan being kind of the bridge of that. You know what I mean? Like, even the armorer said last episode, Bo-Katan walks both worlds. She's going to be the one to unite us. And that's really what this episode was Bo-Katan walking both worlds, where she is now rebaptized herself and become part of that creed that Din Djarin is a part of, and she recognizes that these dudes are almost more Mandalorian than her and the Night Owls are. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, oh, this misguided religious zealot of Din Djarin, he has no Mandalorian blood in his veins, and Bo-Katan's like, he's more of a Mandalorian than you are. You know what I mean? Like, it was a really, like, honestly, there was some really, really great stuff in this episode, like there has been every week, and I'm loving it, man. Darthland says, I wanted Din to keep it too. Dang, I wanted him to keep it for sure. We'll see how long Bo-Katan actually ends up keeping the Darksaber now that she is the technical rightful owner of it. You know what I mean? And I love that a lot of people earlier in the season, when Bo beat that thing, they were like, wouldn't she technically be the owner of it, or she technically wouldn't? Like, there's a lot of debate about that. And then now Din Djarin's like, yo, this creature beat me and she beat the creature, she should technically be the owner, right? And they're like, yeah. I love that the Night Owls and the old Death Watch people, they're all like, their way is like, oh, if you have the Darksaber, you have to win it by creed or it's not yours. And then, the children of the Watch are like, if you take off your helmet, you're not part of the, that's not the way. You know what I mean? Like, all these sects of Mandalorians or tribes of Mandalorians have these crazy, like, religious beliefs that are just like, really? I'll end up being Grogu's. Oh, Grogu's the Darksaber? Yes. I'm a little upset, not gonna lie, since Sabersmith. It's Sabersmith, it's okay. It's okay, my guy. I think it belongs with Bo for now, but we'll see. Ashhammer says, I hate that, bro. We didn't ever even get to see Din use the blade. For real, I will say the fact that Din Djarin never got to really, I guess, become one with the blade or get used to it and go through any training with it, that does kind of like irk me, because I love seeing him with it. And not that it doesn't belong with Bo-Katan, but I feel like the fact that it was kind of just handed to her again, it's kind of like, really? She better not lose it, to Tim's point. Like, she keeps getting handed this thing. If she loses it again, you're not my friend no more, says Dale. I would have fathered Din. I would have rather didn't challenge Axe and win and they all follow him. That would have been sick, Ash. That would have actually been pretty sick. But I kind of like the way they did. Swagger Like Us says the difference is Clone Wars has 16 to 22 episodes this season. Mando has 8. You're 100% right about that, Swagger Like Us. And that's kind of the thing. Like, I think we need to adjust our expectations with this Mandoverse and the Mandalorian show. Or I think if they want to do it this way, they need to release, like, maybe they take longer between seasons, but I think double the length of the seasons if you're going to do it like this. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with spending episodes like this, having fun, doing stuff that kind of progresses the story, but feels a little side questy. You know what I mean? Like, the more Star Wars, the better to me. So even when we get crazy adventures or side quests and different things, like, I'm for it. You know what I mean? It extends the story. It further progresses our characters. It does a lot. Like, there was a lot that happened in this episode, even if it feels like it was kind of a weird side questy one. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a lot that went down. So I agree. If they're going to, you know, the difference between the Clone Wars, which would do the 20, 30-minute episodes, was that Clone Wars did have 16, 20-ish episode seasons compared to the 8 of The Mandalorian, or that we get with these live-action shows. But the thing is, I think that these live-action shows have the longevity to, with these 30, 40-minute episodes compared to maybe 20 or 30, even sometimes closer to an hour, is that they can go for like 8 seasons, especially The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian can go for like 8 to 10 seasons easily. And this story is going to continue to, you know, progress over time. It's not something that's just going to get to the point. It's not. That's... Star Wars is doing kind of long-form storytelling now. That's kind of been the way ever since the Clone Wars. You know what I mean? Like, heck, even since the original trilogy. Like, Luke didn't just go from one movie to beating Darth Vader. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen like that. So they're taking us for the long ride, and there's going to be episodes sometimes that feel underwhelming or different or a little weird. And I think we just got to, you know, sit back and enjoy the ride, because we're going to get to the fun, you know, Luke beating Darth Vader, or, you know, the Return of the Jedi at the end of A New Hope, or the Revenge of the Sith at the end of the prequels. You know what I mean? We're going to get to the climactic crazy ending at some point, but this, you know, fun little middle part to me is a lot of fun. Let me go back up and see what you guys are saying. Eli Thomas says, I can't believe I stayed up for this side quest to a side quest. Oh, I'm sorry, my man. I didn't think it was that side questy, but I hope that you get some rest. Ashhammer says, bruh, I usually love everything, and this was dope, but I think I'm giving the saber to Bo, and taking away from Din was really dumb. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, man, I can't really disagree, but I think there's a reason. Like, I think Bo-Katan is really being set up this season to push Mandalore forward. So we'll see where it goes, man. That's the thing. Like, we get so reactionary over stuff that happens in a week episode, and then like a week later it can be undone. You know what I mean? So we'll see where it goes, man. We'll see where it goes. Tim says, you heard about the theory that Disney creates shows in a way so they can air on network television and cable. I haven't heard about that theory, but interesting. General Grievous says, it was kind of fun, but underwhelming considering it's only 2 episodes left. That point I agree with. That's the whole point I'm talking about with this longevity thing and long form storytelling, you know. That's what I'm talking about with this, is like, it almost feels like this entire season's been kind of set up for what's to come next season or further down the Mandalorian line. Like, we have 2 episodes left. Like, are we going to get through the setup, or are we going to continue to set up these last 2 episodes? You know what I mean? Like, I kind of, in that aspect, it did feel a little underwhelming this episode, knowing we only have 2 episodes left in the season. It's like, what the heck, you know? that is I do feel that in the back of my brains. Ashhammer says the episode was dope for sure, but I don't like that they gave the blade to her, or gave her the blade. Din looks better with it. He does look better with it. That's for sure. Brandon Tran says, what if in the next episode Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland appear as bounty hunter guest cameos? I wouldn't put it past them at this point. After seeing Jack Black and Lizzo in The Mandalorian, anything is possible. This episode was super fun and makes Bo not become the enemy, says Lobo. I feel like, I will say real quick, while we're on the topic, I remember a while ago, in between seasons, between season 2 and season 3, the long wait. I remember a long time ago, I was so wondering, like, everyone's like, oh, Bo-Katan's set up to be the bad guy next season. She's going to want her Darksaber back, all this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, I don't see it. Like, it doesn't seem to me like that's what she wants. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't seem like what Bo-Katan's set up for right now. I was so confused. That's what everybody, like, it felt like everybody thought Bo-Katan was set up to be the antagonist. And I'm like, where do you guys see that? Like, I don't see it. And then now we get into the season, I was even starting to think that, because I just, at some point you hear so many people saying Bo-Katan's going to be the antagonist, or she wants the Darksaber. You hear it so much and you just kind of start to believe it. You're like, maybe she is. Maybe she does want that Darksaber. I don't know. Like, and then we get to the season and she's got like no interest. She's like, my people left me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down to help you out. I want the saber still, but like, you go do it. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't even, she told Din to lead them. You know what I mean? And I feel like she got brought into it, went to go save Din, and she kind of had her eyes opened and became part of the Children of the Watch and saw what, like, the real Mandalorians are doing. You know what I mean? Like, she saw what the way is and how it unites the Mandalorians. My dang light keeps turning off, but I don't know, man. I really like how they've been doing this season. I like how they have progressed Bo-Katan. I think her having the saber now is hopefully going to be able to have her unite her people. And we still don't know who rescued or took Moff Gideon. Maybe it was Axe Woves, now that we know that him and the Night Owls were mercenaries. Maybe they got hired by the Empire or something to go take him. But I don't know. Like, it's so interesting to me that especially because we got the whole Moff Gideon set up at the end of last episode. And not, sometimes they do that where they set something up and then they kind of take an episode to go on this other quest and then they go back to that thing. So maybe next week's going to be the Moff Gideon episode. That would kind of make sense, having Moff Gideon be the kind of climactic ending to this season with these last 2 episodes. But it does feel a little weird this season. I will say Din's going to be even more sidelined. Maybe. That's interesting, man. Something to note with the whole Din Djarin being sidelined, or feeling like he's sidelined maybe this season, is the fact that, Pedro Pascal isn't always able to be on set, especially with all the other opportunities and shows that he's been working on, like Last of Us and different things. So that could be part of why Din Djarin's maybe felt sidelined this season. Ashhammer says then chasing the droid was a lot like the Attack of the Clones chasing at the beginning. It felt like we were running through Coruscant and different things with that B2 running through there and everything. Like, I thought it was awesome. I loved it too. Don Clotterman, it's not a gift. Din never really wanted. Yeah, Din never really seemed like he wanted the saber or the responsibilities that came with it. And I think that was kind of the reason he had such a hard time wielding it, and that it felt so heavy to him. You know what I mean? The responsibility was a burden. It was heavy. Tim says it's a lot like season 1 with the adventure of the week and Gideon at the end. I agree. Swagger like us says Jon Favreau said due to Ahsoka commitments, Dave Filoni couldn't be around for Mando season 3 like seasons 1 and 2, and it shows in a lot of ways this season. Feels more Jon Favreau. Interesting, because I've totally felt like it's like Dave Filoni Clone Wars at sometimes. Like, I know Dave had other engagements and things that had to, take his mind. This stupid light is killing me right now. I know Dave was busy, though. But yeah, man, I totally felt the Dave influence. We even saw him sitting there staring at Gareth Aurelius last week. So I know for sure Dave maybe didn't work on this season quite as much as he did on season 1 and 2. But to me, it totally felt like Dave Filoni's influence is spread all over this season still. Lobo says, tying Din to being Mandalore would stall the series and limit what adventures would be proper for someone of that status to go on. Having the Mandalore as an ally is way more valuable. That is true, and we could still go with the whole Bo-Katan show at some point with her as the Mandalore, which I do think a show of the Mandalore would be sick. You know, I would love that. I've been saying for a while now, I want a game of Tar Vizsla, the creator of the Darksaber, and going through the game and him progressing to becoming Mandalore and, you know, going through the Jedi Academy even, or being, you know, picked up by the Jedi. I would love a Tar Vizsla video game. This freaking light is pissing me off. Alright, hold up. Let me see if I can do this. It's not that good. Whatever. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying. Sam Madden, what up, Nakalaya? I'm not really enjoying this season. I really want to, but I'm just not. I wish I could. I wish we had Gideon throughout the whole season. Yeah, I feel like they maybe haven't done quite enough of the Gideon stuff. But they have teased him throughout the whole season. So we'll see with these last 2 episodes. I'm still hopeful that they can kind of pull it off here at the end of the season. But I kind of not agree, because I still have been loving this season, and I'm sure you guys have been too. Don't get me, like, I know you guys don't dislike the Mandalorian, like, let's be real, but it has felt different than seasons 1 and 2. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's mainly because of Grogu's story, kind of the progression of it, I guess you could say. Like the first season, Din Djarin picks him up. He's trying to find his people. In the second season, it's kind of been a progression of Din Djarin's character changing. And I will say, to the people saying that Din Djarin's character is sidelined, I felt like there was a lot of Din Djarin progression in this episode, or there was some Din Djarin progression. The fact that we had Ugnaughts, and Din Djarin, of course, was friends with Queel and kind of had that, you know, the whole I have spoken came back and everything too. I don't know, like, I feel like there was some Din Djarin kind of growth here, or seeing him kind of reverting to his old ways again, of him being like, like, those droids, I'm telling you, man, you can't trust droids. Like, to see that progression, or that lack of here, where he only really trusts IG-11 or a few droids at this point. Heck, even with R5, like, he has R5 for a little bit, and R5 snitches on him, and he's like, yo, this is why I don't trust droids. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like seeing that aspect of Din Djarin again here in this episode too, and I don't feel like he's been sidelined quite as much as people have thought. I feel like when we go back and watch this season as a whole, it's going to be a really, really fun season, and I'm hoping these last 2 episodes land for everybody, because I've been enjoying it, man. I've been enjoying it, even if it's felt a little bit different. Tim says, I'd rather have it feel different than getting more of the same, even if not everything is a 10 out of 10. Yeah, man, we continue to get more of the same. It's never going to feel different then, or it's never going to progress. You know what I mean? The love of Star Wars. I love it. Connecting all eras of fans. Me too, Star Wars politics. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a really beautiful thing to see. It's Star Wars. I have no expectations. I'm just grateful that I will most likely have Star Wars until the day I die, says Raina. Me too. Me too. I will say, I was in the leaks and spoilers game for a bit, because I was worried that, you know, one day I'm not going to be here, so I wanted to know as much Star Wars stuff as I could. That was part of the reason why I was in it. We don't really do spoilers or leaks really here anymore, but it's why I get so excited when there is new Star Wars stuff, and why I enjoy each moment that I get to see a new episode, even when they are crazy and have Jack Black and Lizzo in it. You know, I really love this season of Mando. Me too. Brandon, maybe it's like an extra little personal connection. The fact that a place of my childhood like Lake Powell has been in almost every episode, with the Mandalorians kind of settling on that planet there. But there's been so much fun stuff this season to me. And I think I'm going to look back at season 3 very fondly, as I do with season 1 and 2. And I still think there's more really fun stuff to come. Like, I think these last 2 episodes are a banger. Usually they find a way to give us a hell of a last episode of the season So I'm expecting some big stuff still here at the end with episode 7 and 8 in the next 2 weeks. And plus, Star Wars Celebrations this upcoming weekend, so I'm sure they're going to kick it off with a hell of a bang. Ash Hammer says, I like this season a lot, to be honest. Me too. Brandon Tran says Din Djarin probably still has PTSD from battle droids in his childhood. Maybe that's why he doesn't like the droids. That's definitely why. We see that back in season 1. That was kind of established. And while we thought that maybe he had progressed a little bit, it doesn't seem like the progression's all as much as we maybe initially had thought. So to see him still struggling with that, kicking B2 battle droids, that was pretty funny. He was like, screw you guys. You killed my parents. It was pretty cool. Don Clotterman says, especially those nasty droids, scary. Yeah, I actually really thought that the Mon Cala thing at the beginning with the Mon Calamari was hilarious, man. Maybe it was Prince Lichar. I don't think it is. Maybe it's his son. But I thought that beginning was so funny, to be honest. And seeing Axel still flying the Imperial Remnant ship that Moff Gideon had, it's really interesting to me. And again, I'm still super curious who it was that took Moff Gideon. Grogu got knighted. Yeah, he did. He did. Season 1, he doesn't like all droids. Now it's more directed. Yeah. Brandon Trent says Din is the reverse Darth Vader who hated Sand people. I'm loving this season, Amanda, though. I thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It's definitely been a blast. I know it's been a different or a weirder episode for some people, probably for all of us, but I definitely enjoyed it. I can't wait for the last 2 episodes of the season. I know it's going to be a fun time with Celebration this weekend. I will be out of here in the next couple of days, so don't expect too much content. But this Saturday, we're definitely going to try to cover some of the stuff that's been going on at Celebration starting this Friday. And then, of course, next week, we're going to be covering The Mandalorian as well. So thank you all for being here. We're going to get on out of here. So if you guys have any last comments, make sure to throw them into the chat now. Roger. Ash Hammer says this season is setting up stuff like season 1, and season 4 will be more like season 2. I just love all the Mandalorian presence. Yeah, that is true too. In a lot of the ways that Marvel kind of has to not reset, but kind of recuperate after, doing 10 years of Marvel. You know what I mean? Like the first initial story arc of The Mandalorian was kind of finished off at the end of season 2, and now we're kind of setting up for another story arc here with seasons 3 and 4, I think. Maybe even with Ahsoka and some of the stuff that we saw in Book of Boba. So I agree. There is a little bit of a reset or a recuperating thing going on with this season. That is very similar to kind of the world building and character building and setup that we had with season 1. So I definitely agree with you on that aspect, Ash Hammer. Hey, have a great rest of your night, OG. Saber Smith, much love. I'll have to rewatch it too. Where Jack Black's guards the white armor Santa's been going on about. I think the white armor thing was actually me, but probably not. Darth Lance, may the force be with you as well, man. I hope you get some rest. I'm going to be knocking out here soon, too. Swagger Like Us says, awesome streams later. Hey, much love to you, Swagger. Thanks for hanging out with us. And much love. Brandon says, bye, everyone. Have an amazing day. Hey, Brandon, peace to you, my dude. Ahsoka teaser Saturday. Let's go. We're definitely going to be doing a live for that. All right, y'all. We're going to get on out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. To the 31 of you, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And may the force be with you guys always. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, shit.